Every day you wait to put AI governance into your business is a day your competitors are getting ahead. Businesses with AI governance are out earning, out releasing, and outscaling everyone else. And it's not the tools that they use, it's not the budgets that they have, and it's not even the talent that's on their team. It's something called AI governance. And whilst the rest of the world is out chasing the next AI tool, these businesses are quietly compounding an advantage that is going to be very hard to catch up to. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what AI governance is, why it's become the biggest competitive moat in business today, and the simple framework to put it into your business starting today. We're going to run through three main elements. Firstly, the real reason most AI investments are actually failing right now, with 2026 data sitting behind it. Secondly, the simple framework the winning businesses are using, but in plain simple English. And then lastly, a step-by-step 30, 60, and 90-day plan to put in place yourself, whether you have a team of 10 employees or you've got thousands. This works the same for a 5-person accounting firm as it does for a Fortune 500 company. The principles do not change, only the implementation weight does. So let me show you why this matters more right now than at any other point in the AI era. Picture this for a second. You sit down with your insurance broker for your annual renewal. They have a list of questions they need to run through, and one of them is going to be, can you list every AI tool your business is using? And you start with the simple and obvious ones, ChatGPT, Microsoft, Copilot, and Claude. But then they're going to ask, what about the AI inside your accounting software, the transcriptions on your Zoom calls, the features that came on by default within your CRM? You pause because you don't know. Nobody at the firm was ever asked to keep a list of active AI. The broker is just going to write one simple line, AI exclusion to be added to next year's policy. That is the cost of not having AI governance. Not a fine, not a breach, just a quiet moment when someone outside your business asks you a basic question and you can't answer it. Let's start with three key figures to keep in mind. Firstly, 80% of businesses now use AI in some form. That's up 78% from a year ago, so adoption is no longer the question. So what's one big component that separates the top performers? We know it's not the tools, the budget, not even the technical skill of their team. Simply put, it's the governance, the systems of policies, accountability, and oversight that lets a business deploy AI confidently at speed without the failures piling up. And here's what those failures are starting to look like within 2026. Firstly, failure number one, the financial and legal exposure. When AI gets something wrong inside your business and nobody is checking it, you are the one who pays for it. Not the AI vendor, not the tool, but you. And the data on this is actually striking. There's a public database tracking court cases where AI has made up facts that when used in real business decisions or court cases, it's actually fake. It now sits at over 1,380 cases worldwide, growing by 2 or 3 cases every single day. Companies have been fined tens of thousands of dollars just in single ruling. Some have lost contracts and some have even lost clients. And the precedent is being set even bigger. A landmark ruling in 2025 made it clear that when AI makes a decision on your behalf for your business, you are legally responsible for it. The court's exact wordings were, quote, drawing an artificial distinction between software decision makers and human decision makers would potentially gut anti-discrimination laws in the new modern era. But the translation, if your AI does it, you've done it. So now let's come on to failure number two. Shadow AI. IBM's 2025 cost of a data breach report found that 20% of organizations experience a breach caused by employees using one or more unauthorized AI tools. Those breaches are costing $670,000 more than average, and 90% of organizations reported AI breaches lacked basic AI access controls. So why is it happening? Well, it's because employees are using AI, whether it's been sanctioned by business leaders and owners or not. KPMG surveyed 48,000 workers across 47 different countries and found 57% hide AI usage from their managers. 48% have uploaded sensitive company data into public AI tools. 53% of US workers passed off AI-generated content as their own work. So, if you haven't given your team a list of approved tools or clear rules, you're not avoiding risk, you're just probably not seeing it. Now, let's go through failure number 3, the regulation that is now landing. Right now, AI specific regulation is being rolled out across major markets at a speed nobody's expected even 12 months ago. The EU AI Act is already in force, with high risk system rules taking full effect this summer. Penalties up to 35 million euros or 7% of global turnover. That's even bigger than GDPR. And it's not just Europe. 24 US states now have AI specific legislation on the books. Texas penalties can run up to $200,000 per violation, California up to $1 million per violation, and the UK is moving, Canada is moving, and Australia is moving as well. So the point is not the specific number on the fine. The point is this. Governments around the world have decided that businesses using AI will be held accountable for how they use it. The companies that are generating their governance in place now will not even feel this. The ones that are not are the ones that are going to feel it incredibly hard. The ones who are getting this right are going to be pulling ahead whilst everyone else is going to be exposed. McKinsey also found that AI high performers are 3 times more likely to have strong leadership ownership of AI within their business. Governance isn't the break. Governance is actually what lets you accelerate with AI. Now, let me tell you what AI governance actually is. So let's put all the jargon aside for 1 minute. AI governance is the operating system that sits underneath all of your AI tools. It is the set of rules, roles, and checks that let your business answer 4 key questions every single time AI is used. What are we using? Who is accountable for it? What can people put into it? And what do we do when something goes wrong? And that's it. 4 simple questions. If you can answer those 4 for every AI tool in your business, you have the foundations of AI governance. So now let's run through 3 things that often get confused when it comes to AI governance. Firstly, AI ethics is the philosophical layer. Should we use AI in this context? Responsible AI is the principles layer. Fairness, transparency, accountability. Whereas AI governance, this is the operational layer, the system that makes those principles actually happen and get embedded day to day. Ethics asks, should we do this? Responsible AI says, here, this is what good looks like, and governance is what you actually do. Every major framework in the world converges on the same 7 points. Number 1, a risk-based inventory. You know what you are using, and you know which of it is actually high stakes. Secondly, named accountability, not a committee, a person by name. Number 3, documented policies, what is allowed, what isn't allowed to happen. 4, continuous monitoring, not a one-time approval, but ongoing oversight. 5 is AI literacy, training across your entire team. Number 6, compliance with whichever framework best applies to you as a business. And then last but not least with 7, documentation and audit trails. This is the spine. Every AI governance framework on the planet rests on these key 7 points. There is one piece that has changed dramatically in 2026 though that you need to be aware of and understand, and it's called agentic AI. These are AI systems that take actions on their own. They can send emails, they can book meetings, they make purchases. They can chain decisions together without ever having to actually circle and check back in. Gartner is expecting 40% of business applications to embed these AI agents by the end of 2026, up from less than 5% in 2025. But Deloitte found that only 1 in 5 companies has a mature AI governance to actually approach them. A McKinsey partner said this though, and it really stuck with me and it should stick with you. Quote, agency is not a feature, it's a transfer of decision rights. The question shifts from is this model accurate to who is accountable when the system acts. If you're deploying AI agents in your business, that question needs an answer before you turn them on, and definitely not after. So now let's run through the framework and actually take action. The good news is you already know it. It's the same 4 questions I gave you a moment ago to form the foundations. What AI are we using? Who is accountable? What can people put into the tools? And what to do when something goes wrong? These 4 main questions, 4 phases: inventory, ownership, rules, and response, mapped onto and against a 90-day rollout plan. Most businesses I work with can have all 4 phases in place within inside 90 days. And here's what each phase actually looks like. Firstly, phase 1. This is inventory, days 1 to 14. We're going to look at what AI are we actually using in the business today. The single most important governance artifact, arguably in your entire business, is an AI inventory. You cannot govern what you can't see, and most owners haven't really looked or been told what tools their team are using. The primary action takes a week. Send a question, a survey, a workshop, whatever it is. Ask what AI tools have you used in the last 30 days, cross-check them against what people say and what you are actually paying for through your billing software. You'll find out what tools you didn't know about, and where they're being used, and that's normal. Most businesses I work with discover their AI footprint is around 3 or 4 times larger than they actually thought. Then we're going to build this into a 3-tier risk register. High risk is anything customer facing, regulated data, hiring decisions, legal or financial advice, whereas medium risk is internal decision support, marketing content, documentation summaries on confidential material, and lastly, low risk is spell check, ideation, and internal research. And think of it this way: we want to apply the family test to everything that would be a higher tier, i.e., would I be comfortable if AI made this decision about my family? If the answer is no, that decision definitely needs to include human oversight today. Then, when we move on to phase 2, it's all about ownership, days 15 to 30. We're looking at who is going to be accountable for AI within the business. We're looking to name one person by name, not a committee. One person who owns AI governance for the entire business. In a 10 or 50-person company, that might be the founder. In a 1,000-person company, that may be the chief AI officer or CIO. The data tells you both extremes work. What does not work, though, is the middle, where AI governance gets diffused across 3 people who all assume one of the others is doing it and handling it, but realistically, none are. Then set up incident reporting channels. Where does an employee go when something goes wrong? Who escalates it? What are the response times? Make it easy, because if reporting is hard, problems go underground and they're not reported. And this way, by day 30, you have an inventory and you have an owner set up. 2/3 of your AI governance gaps are closed within that first month. Next, we're going to run onto phase 3, all about rules. This is from day 31 to day 16. We're going to go in detail on what can people put into AI. We want a main one-pager, acceptable use policy, which every employee acknowledges in writing they understand it. That means not including customer data, financial records, or trade secrets into public AI tools without approval. Approved tools list with 1 or 2 enterprise-grade options like ChatGPT Teams Enterprise, Microsoft Copilot, Anthropic, or Claude for Work. Tell people what is in versus outside the sphere of being used. Then train every employee. 1 or 2 hours on AI literacy minimum, 2 to 4 hours for people using AI heavily within the business. The EU AI Act made this a legal requirement as of February 2025, with penalties up to €7.5 million if you can't prove that you've done it. Document who attended and what they learned. And then last in this phase, update all of your client documents, engagement letters, privacy policies, disclosures. If you use AI in delivery work to clients, they need to know. Critical for especially accountants and lawyers, but many other industries, for everyone that is serving clients in 2026. And then last but not least, phase 4, response, days 61 to 90. What do we do if something goes wrong? The primary action here is one most businesses skip. Run a tabletop exercise with all of your senior team. I want you to walk through three main scenarios. Firstly, an AI tool gives a client wrong advice. Two, an employee leaked client data into a public AI tool. And three, AI generated content with an error makes it into a deliverable. For each scenario, ask one main question. Who handles this? Who tells the client? And what happens in the first hour? You want to find the gaps in a meeting, not in a crisis. And then three last quick things for this phase. Firstly, turn on logging in your approved enterprise tools so that you can see what came in and what went out of the tools. Secondly, review your professional indemnity policy with your broker. Specifically ask whether AI assisted work is something that's covered. Some insurers introduced AI exclusions in 2025. Most policies do not explicitly include AI, but may not cover it either. Have the conversations now and definitely not at renewal. And then lastly, for number three, pick a framework your AI governance maturity target needs to hit. Compliance is becoming a legal safe harbor within its very own rights. And that's it, the simple framework for us to run through. It's 4 questions, 4 phases completed within the next 90 days. We need to cover inventory, ownership, rules of the road, and the response as well. And it's not glamorous, but it is what is separating the top performers when it comes to AI usage compared to those that are stuck in pilot purgatory. So ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. Can you list every AI tool across your business right now? Secondly, can you name the person accountable for each one by name? Thirdly, do you have human checkpoints on your high stakes AI outputs? And then last but not least, for number 4, when was your AI use last reviewed against actual performance? If your answer to 2 or more of those is no, you definitely have a governance gap. And this video has shown you how to close it and set up those foundations, but it's just the beginning. So remember 3 key things. Firstly, AI governance is definitely not the break, it's the moat. The data is unambiguous. Governed AI outperforms ungoverned AI on every margin that matters: higher valuation, higher revenues, and fewer incidents. Secondly, agentic AI has changed the question from not is this model accurate, but rather who is accountable when the system acts. The businesses that figure this out first will compound their advantage for many, many years to come. And then third, AI literacy is a legal flaw now and globally becoming increasingly enforceable. The trust gap with your customers makes it commercial. So you need to make sure that your team is trained when it comes to AI. If you want help putting this into your business, make sure to click the links on screen now and in the description and come across to speak to the team because we can help you get the most out of AI within your business. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Have a great week and I'll see you in the next one.